You have to wait 3 seconds.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
All right. So what's up, everybody who is listening to this live stream, whether you're on Simon Hill Keeps It Trail or whether you're on Backpack Bandits, welcome to this live stream right here. I'm here with my beautiful wife. So if you're watching from Simon Hill Keeps It Trail, I'm looking this way because the camera that we're talking to is the audience for Backpack Bandits. But I'm letting my audience know about everything we're talking about here too. But if you want us talking to you directly, come to Backpack Bandits. Anyway, so yeah, on our channel, we have just finished our Kenya series. And I want everybody to just take a minute and clap for acting. Clap for acting, for doing all the
finally finished it.
Yeah, all the great editing. You know, somebody left a comment under one of the videos and was like, you know, why are you releasing videos from like a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, what's the answer for that?
I mean, because we're still like going on with our daily lives. Obviously, our channel is like just now getting a bit attraction. We have like 555 subscribers now. And at the same time, we've been like living and studying and working. So I've just been doing it on the side. And it takes a bit of a time. And I know that I ignored it a little bit as well. So yeah, that's why it took me some time to upload stuff. But it's coming there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, once again, good job for you. And for everybody listening or watching this, like we do YouTube on the side. I know my channel seems like I'm working on it all the time, but it's literally just a hobby for me. And Backpack Bandits is a hobby for us too, because, you know, we live a unique lifestyle because, you know, I work online, you work online, and, you know, we like to travel and go to different places. So, you know, when we upload content, you know, just be grateful you get to see it. Because we could have the choice not to even upload it at all. Like we could just keep it then.
I just think like ours is very special because first of all, there's not a lot of people that went to like, you know, Kenya and Tanzania or Mauritius and also shot videos and also showed like what it's like to be budget travelers there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you're a budget traveler, you're probably working on the side as well. So, you know, you don't have that much time to upload stuff, but yeah,
like we are not rich people. I don't know how a lot of these other YouTubers do it. Maybe they have some backing or funding or something, but you know, we're not rich people. Basically, you know, I earn maybe $1,500 a month doing what I do, but I've been traveling and working online for the past few years, and that's how I met my wife. We never did a how we met video either.
Yeah, we tried to do it one time, but it was like too windy or something, and then we didn't, but we should.
Yeah. One day we're gonna do it. One day we're gonna do it. But you guys know the story. I mean, you know, she's Juliet. I was Romeo. I had to fight the Montesquieu's to get the girl. You know, we almost killed ourselves, but we ended up stopping at the end. So this is the happy ending to Romeo and Juliet. So obvious. Yeah. Why don't people know this? Why can't they get it?
Yeah.
Anyway, and also another thing too, like about our content, like we're sitting here talking to ourselves, honestly, because there's like 0 people in the chat, or 0 people watching anywhere, right? And Avery Adams is here on my other live stream. But if you want your questions answered, or if you want to talk to us, you got to jump on the Backpack Bandits live stream. So if you really want to say something, come to Backpack Bandits. Y'all know my second channel where I upload content with my wife all the time. Come to the second channel if you really want to talk. All content here will get ignored on the phone. Nothing you say will matter unless you say it in the Backpack Bandits chat. Anyway. But yeah, our content is basically meant like for us to have memories and like they're basically our home movies, right?
Yeah.
For like whenever we have, you know, kids one day, or whenever we get old and gray, or whenever acting. Avery Adams said he's here. Hey. Shout out to Avery. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So we got some good questions. Well, let me just say this. So our videos on Backpack Bandits are basically meant for home movies. You know, who cares if we get 1 million subscribers or 1,000 subscribers? We don't care, because I was watching our videos today, all the Kenya videos from beginning to end, and I was like, that life is so crazy. And it's so crazy that it was just 1 year ago, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I always have a huge smile and a big warmth in my heart every time I watch your videos, because like I just remember those times, and looking back at it, it makes it more precious, you know, because at the time you don't realize how crazy that is. or like how good that is, you know. So
Yeah.
it's definitely something that I'm glad we decided to do.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, let's jump to the comments real quick. Shout out to everybody jumping in the chat. Avery, you are the first person to ever come into our live chat, so shout out to you. He said he's here. So Aaron Ekadem said, your favorite spot so far? That's a great question, Aaron. And I think Aaron is a Turkish person, right?
No.
That's not Ekadem is not a Turkish name?
No.
No? All right, my favorite spot that I visited, all right, for me as a solo traveler, my favorite spot has to be like Malaysia. I visited Malaysia, 2 times in the past, and also Indonesia. I was working in Indonesia, but then I traveled to Malaysia. And what I like about Malaysia is that it's very modern and everybody speaks like English. So that's good for me. Not that a country speaking another language is bad. It's just easier for me. And on top of that, Malaysia has like very good infrastructure, very good food. It's very spicy, very flavorful, and it's not that expensive. So it's like a high quality of living at like a fraction of the price. You get what I'm saying? Now, the favorite spot I've traveled with Acti was Mauritius. And if you want to know why, just watch the videos about from what we did in Mauritius. But, I just like how in Mauritius, everything is so close by. It's a small island, mountains, the sea, hidden waterfalls, just beautiful place. But what about you?
Yeah. My favorite place ever definitely is Mauritius, because even though it's like far away to travel, I was just like in awe with all the natural beauty that it has. It was like so amazing to be able to like climb those mountains and go to those beaches, and all free, which was also like even better. But I was just in love with the people, with the nature, with the food and the culture that they had overall. So that would be like my favorite place ever. It was like heaven on earth. Like the vlogs that we have, they don't make like Mauritius justice, even though they're really good.
Yeah.
The actual country is like way better.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite place you went to solo, or is Mauritius still?
It's still like the best one.
Okay.
I have to say it's the best one.
Okay. All right.
And
all right. Aaron said, I first caught your videos when you were in Magdeburg. I stayed in the same apartment from Marie. Marie, I don't know if that was at the beginning or the end.
I think it's the last place we stayed. No?
Aaron, if you stayed in that place is fire.
Yeah.
That place is like one of my favorite apartments we stayed in while we were traveling, because it had the roof open spot, and it had like a very long, hallway and stuff like that. It was very cool. I think it was the last place, right?
Yeah, I think so, because the lady there also was really nice. If you remember, she dropped us to the airport and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So shout out to Aaron. Oh yeah. Yes. The rooftop. I played my guitar on that rooftop a lot and just sat out there and just like looked at the scenery, like looked at Lion Mountain, looked at the water. Beautiful place. Aaron said he's Nigerian. So shout out to the Nigerians. I'll have to try and get to Malaysia too. Malaysia is dope. You have to visit Malaysia. Everybody should go to one Asian country once in their lifetime, in my opinion, whether it be Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, or something, because it's so unique. It's so different. And great food and cool people. He said, I've been to Mauritius 3 times. I love it too. Yep, Mauritius it's one of those places that'll suck you in. And yeah, anything you want to say?
No.
All right. Well, we're here to talk about Kenya. So shall we get to Kenya?
Yeah, we're gonna like try to go category by category, but if the conversation gets elsewhere, then we're just gonna let it flow.
Right.
But I guess we'll start with like the best places in Kenya that we visited or we stayed at. Yeah, I don't know. What are your top 3?
Okay, just one more time. Let me tell the audience over here on my live stream, I am not answering any questions on my phone's live stream, which you're seeing right here. Hi. If you want to talk to me, come to Backpack Bandits, the second channel I share with my wife, and you can get your questions answered, okay? All right, and you can find the Backpack Bandits channel by going to my About section and just clicking the second channel I share with my beautiful wife right here. All right, but yeah, let's get to it. So we're talking about Kenya.
Yeah, like top places that we stayed that we really liked, or any places that we went to that you really liked. What are your top places?
All right, well, I think we should clarify that in Kenya, we stayed only in Mombasa. Well, generally in Mombasa, but also Diani, right, which is a little bit south, but we stayed only on the coast. Yeah. And in my opinion, Diani is definitely, shout out to me, please. All right. Well, shout out to Abhi Basi. Shout out to Abhi Basi. All right. But when we were in Kenya, we only stayed in the coast. And in my opinion, Mombasa city center was one of the coolest places because it has great street food and interesting nightlife. Everything is sort of central around. You also have a beach in the center of the city, though it is kind of grimy. It's a bit grimy, and you can see it in the videos. And yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, about Mombasa Center, I would say it's more like a place that you would want to go to soak up that street life, some of the history, like Fort Jesus is there and stuff like that, and also like food as well. It's not really that like much of a highlight in terms of like nightlife or the beach, because there are much better places for that in Mombasa. But like the old city center, it's more historical, like, you know, just getting that whole like African city vibes.
Yeah.
It's that.
Absolutely. Abhi Basi says, have you visited India? We want to, or at least I want to. Listen, we always keep it real on this channel. I actually had a job opportunity in India, but because my wife wanted to come to Hungary, which is where we are right now, we decided to come here instead. And also, you know, I think, you know, with everything that's been happening in the news, some people are scared to go to India. I'm not going to speak for you. I'm not going to speak for you, but I'd be okay to go to India. But I think that's because of like my male privilege. Like I don't think anybody's going to take my pussy. I'm going to keep it real with you. But I don't know. Talk to me.
I mean, the thing is, I really want to go to India, but I always say to Simon as well, I kind of want to go when I'm rich, so I can like stay in a good like places. Like now, if I have an opportunity to go and it's like you know, very like a good opportunity, I would go, and I would like still travel, because I do love traveling and I love adventure and getting myself into like weird situations. And I feel like I would have a lot of those in India, but it's a bit intimidating for me. Like if I have money and I'm like, like I want to choose a place to go, India wouldn't be my first choice because of how little money I make.
I think we could have a great time in India with a little bit of money, but I would like to go to the south of India, like literally the southern tip, and see the coast and the beaches there, and study the culture there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've just heard like from so many people, it's a very overwhelming place. So I don't know, like that's why I'm also like, you know, intimidated by it a little bit.
Yeah. I would like to go to India. I would like to go.
Yeah.
You know, every country in the world, I believe, is worth visiting. And one day I do hope to visit as many as I can. All right. So he said he is from the Northern Mountain area. That's cool. You know what? You know, I'm sorry that we're ranting,
it's okay.
but we're on live stream. So who knows how long we'll be on here. So Abhi Basi says, I am from the Northern Mountain area. You know, I was looking up like, because I love to hike and I love mountains and stuff like that. And sometimes like I'm interested in Buddhism, which is weird. And I found out that Buddha was born in like one of the northern mountain areas of India. And I was like, I want to visit there because they have the grave of the Buddha. And it's like this big mound and you can go visit it. You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead.
I'm definitely interested in like that religious culture of India as well. Like when we saw it in Mauritius, because they have a big Indian population, it was really like really nice, like colorful, smelling like incense everywhere, and it's just like it's a very like different experience.
Yeah.
So I would love to see like all of those, all of that side of India.
And by the way, like being in Mauritius made me, you know, really like Indian people in general. Now I know it's different, like Indian Mauritians and like Indians from India, because every culture, nobody's just the same anywhere in the world. But you know, the Indians we met in Mauritius were very nice, like Karen, like Chris. You know, half of Mauritius is Indian, and they treated us very well. And Mauritius got the best, you know, Black Sit review that I've ever done. You know, it's one of the places that literally people hit me up to this day and say, "Oh, I'm glad you liked Mauritius." It's no other Black Sit video gets, "Oh, I'm happy." No, all the comments whenever I talk about being Black somewhere, that people are always mad, and I'm hella critical. Like I was not gonna let Mauritius live just because I liked it.
Yeah.
But the Indians treated me kind of well. You get what I'm saying?
Because I don't know, because maybe I feel like Indians there, even though like they are still like living up to their Indian culture, I feel like they also very much like think of themselves as Mauritians and also like part of Africa as well.
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to go to the Teddy Dunde. He said, good to see you two again. Your videos in Mombasa had normal feel, true picture of Mombasa. Thank you, Teddy. We appreciate that. You know, when we were in Mombasa, we lived sort of normal lives. And Abi Bassi said, "Glad, God bless both of you. I'm a writer. Hope to see you in the future." Okay, thank you, Abi Bassi. And yeah, so once again, talking about the Mombasa City Center, going back to the topic, you know, looking at all the videos we did, I realized just how cheap everything was. Goddamn, because like I was watching the videos and I was like, we went shopping for groceries and a big bag of groceries for like $5 or $8 or something like that. And we were eating street food and the prices were on the screen for like, you know, one of those donor wraps. It was like $1.50 and stuff like that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Those donor wraps were like the best thing I ever ate in my life. But yeah, like even if we did like a very big shopping, like we just got everything, it would be like maximum $20 or something. I feel like if we just got everything, you know. So that was definitely a cool part. But going to like the best places that we've been, I have my list here.
Tell us.
So I'll tell you. Yeah, one of my favorites, and this is the place we went after Mombasa City Center, was Bamburi. It's not like a very, you know, luxurious place or not so touristic maybe, but it has like the best nightlife and it's just so much fun. Like after the sun goes down, you see everyone out in the street, like drinking and, you know, dancing, playing pool and doing all sorts of things. There are like street food there, like people are grilling chicken for, you know, drunk food and things like that. I just thought it was so alive and I really enjoyed my time there. It's also was close to the beach. The beach there was Jomo Kenyatta one. And that beach was okay. It was good, I think, overall. So that was like one of my favorite places that we stayed because it was lively. It was close to most of the things, like the shops and, you know, all of those things. And it was also close to the beach. And it had Holler Park, which was also in the list of one of my favorite things, which was like this like nature park that we went and we saw giraffes, we saw alligators and things like that. So yeah, Bamburi has to be like one of my top places in Mombasa.
Right. By the way, if you ever get a chance to go to Mombasa, Kenya, like it seems like the city is sort of divided. Like the Muslims stay in the city center or maybe the south. And then when you go into like the Bamburi area, the Holler Park area, it becomes Christian and a bit more working class, in my opinion, right? Because yeah, there are a lot of mosques in Bamburi, but it's definitely more Muslim feeling downtown. Like you see more women in hijab and stuff like that. By the way, I got a super chat on my channel from Roseanne. She sent €5 to me. So thank you, Roseanne. You know, I'm glad you donated, Roseanne. But if you want to come and talk to us, Roseanne, come to the Backpack Bandits live stream. Come to the Backpack Bandits live stream. We want to talk to you, Roseanne, because I'm not replying to any questions here, Roseanne. Just come to my channel, Backpack Bandits. In fact, I'll put it in the chat over here. Can I reply to the chat? Nope, I can't reply to the chat in the text.
Maybe
okay,
I can do it.
All right. So yeah. Maybe we'll try to do that. Okay, Avery Adams did it. Shout out to Avery for doing it. My dog, Avery's my dog for real. But yeah, speaking about Bamburi, you know, it's crazy because Mombasa is like right on the sea. And, you know, I feel like the way the city is set up, because in one of the videos we went walking to Mama Ngina Park, it's like they kept the ocean front sort of open. Like it's not, you know, closed off with a bunch of like private condos or development and stuff like that. Like you can actually walk by the water in Mombasa and the city sort of feels like it's accessible to like normal people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think like anywhere sort of like in sub-Saharan Africa, like at least in Tanzania and Kenya, it is like that. And also the beaches there, like the places that you can swim, even though there might be resorts there, they're like available to everyone really. And nobody says like, oh, this is a private property, you can't go in here. Like no one would say that. And yeah, we've entered like resorts and things like that without knowing, and it was totally fine.
Yeah, definitely. So Aaron Ekandam said, my wife got annoyed by hawkers on the beach in Diani. You both experienced the same, I think. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So, you know, if you notice in the first video we made about Kenya, we were very happy to leave Tanzania. We were very happy to leave Tanzania because we were just tired of like all the scamming and all the people like bothering us, trying to sell us stuff and then overcharging us for stuff too. And also, I got annoyed. I don't know if she was annoyed. I was annoyed by her getting called Mzungu a lot. You get what I'm saying? Because I know it's not the same as them yelling the N-word at me, like if I were in a European country, but it's still annoying. Like, I'm out with my wife, have some respect. You get what I'm saying? But like grown people would look at her and just think, oh, it's okay to just yell something at somebody. Like, that's not okay. And yeah, in Kenya, there wasn't as much of that. There was still some of that. But in Diani as well, there were people like, because Diani's a big tourist area, right? And there's a lot of white people. There's a lot of white people in Diani. So they're always trying to hustle. The Maasai, the regular, craftsman guys, tourist guys. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, like I was annoyed, like in both places, even though it was more in Tanzania, like the name calling and stuff like that. There was still like people calling me Mzungu, and out on the street, like I had people like just riding on the buses, and then they would yell Mzungu as I was going to the like shopping mall or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but then if you get to know people, obviously they're like really nice, and I wasn't like that offended, but it's just like annoying to get targeted in the public.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like, oh, like I'm a whitey or something like that, because I know I'm a whitey, but it was just like annoying, I would say.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're talking about accommodation or places in the city. What are we talking about?
Like best places. And my third place that I really liked was the Congo beach in Diani.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the last one we went to that
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any jellyfish, and it was just like really nice, very wavy, and just like open sea. It was like so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, those are like my top places. But what about yours?
Okay, so my favorite places that we visited in Kenya would be Shanzu. Shanzu is one of them. There's a video when we first went to Shanzu and we rowed a boat out into the sea, and we dived into the water and stuff like that. And yeah, we basically had a very, very relaxing time on the beach. Like, I'm that type of person that can't just lay down on a beach chair and just sit on the beach, because that's not my personality. But that one day I realized why people do that. I finally understood it. Like, I lived in Miami, folks, and every time I went to the beach in Miami, I went swimming, I was playing ball. I never just sat there and laid down on the sun. Yeah. But the first time I did that is on camera in Shanzu in Mombasa, Kenya, and it was great. And a second place that I really liked in Kenya, I would say it is Diani, because the first time we went to Diani as well, it was very much more, how can I say this, peaceful than the hecticness of being in Mombasa as well. And I'd also say Holler Park, because one of the things I feel bad about myself that, I went to Africa and I didn't go on safari. And Lord knows when I'll be able to go back to Africa. But, I didn't realize how goddamn expensive it is to go on safari. Bro, if you go on safari, you gotta be an old rich white man, bro. You gotta be balling out of control. Going on safari costs like 400 bands a day. I'm serious.
And for two people, that means like $1,000 for us.
Bro, like, why is going on safari in Africa so goddamn expensive, right? It's crazy. Now, it's expensive if you're not from East Africa, right? Because
they got different prices.
They got different prices. Teddy Dunde said, haha, safari is expensive. But let me know if you went on safari, Teddy, because, I need a rich baby daddy. No, I'm joking.
No, actually, he's not.
No, but for real, it is so expensive. But when we went to Holler Park, which is like an open zoo in Bamburi, it's a place where you go there and they let some of the animals walk free. Like, think about that. You'll see this giant python behind the glass, and then they'll say, yeah, we just put him back inside. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's how they run the zoo there. You
and the monkeys are like running in everywhere. Like, you would see them.
Monkeys everywhere, giant tortoises just walking around. It feels like you're in a mini Jurassic Park. Now, of course, they have like the giraffes behind closed gates and stuff like that, and the alligators too. but it's still a very it was good to be in Africa and experience the nature, because that's a big selling point of Africa. So
like, you know, like how you go to the zoo and you see like animals' faces and they look sad as fuck. It didn't feel like that in Holler Park. Like no animals felt sad, if that makes sense. But also one thing about like the beaches in Kenya, like you can do like mini boat trips and things like that, because we didn't have anything like that in Tanzania, maybe except Zanzibar, but it definitely wasn't the same price. But yeah, like we many times when we went like to Shanzu and Diani and I don't know, also like Jomo Kenyatta Beach, we had like boat trips for like, I don't know, $10-15, and it's like a 1 hour, 2 hour little mini boat trip, which was a lot of fun. And we got to like talk to someone local and see like deeper into the ocean and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Going out to sea. And plus also on the beaches there, you can do other stuff like ride the camels, of course, which is unique to East Africa. And also you can, you know, windsurf. You know, we see people windsurfing, we see people kite surfing, stuff like that. And one thing I have to say, one more thing I liked about Mombasa, as you guys know, I'm a Muslim, or you see it on my other channel. And one of the biggest regrets I have in my life is that I did not record a video of what it's like to go to Juma in Mombasa, Kenya. If you've noticed, every city I go to, every city I've pretty much gone to, I go to Juma and then I record it, you know? I'm not the biggest practicing Muslim. I'm not the perfect Muslim. And if somebody wants to say I'm a kafir, I can honestly say, you know what, maybe I can fuck your mother. But the point I'm trying to say is like, I want to at least show other people in different parts of the world what the Muslims are like in different parts, right? Because one of the things that the Quran tells us to do is go out, explore, travel, and see the creation Allah has created. And you know, one of the most beautiful things about being a Muslim is that we're the most diverse ummah. We have black people, white people, racist white people, Asians, all sorts of people, right? And so, yeah, I wish that I showed what it was like to go to the mosque on Friday in Mombasa, Kenya. But I did go to Juma, and it was cool. It was cool. It was actually really cool. It was just very hot. It was very hot in there.
Yeah, definitely. It was like scorching hot every day. But yeah, moving on. What are some places that you would avoid, or I don't know, like some places that you didn't like as much?
All right, so T-Vogue Film, Talia says, Salaam alaikum, wa alaikum salam, and love to you both. I hope you're all doing well. Alhamdulillah, we're doing okay. Love to you. Thank you, T-Vogue Film. I think if you come to Mombasa and you see on the map, oh, there's a beach right in the middle of the city. It's called Muda-Baraha or something like that. Muda-Baraha, as you'll see in the videos, it's really not the best beach to go to. It seems like more of like a guy hangout, which can, you know, maybe make you uncomfortable if you're going there with a woman, or if you are a woman just by yourself traveling, it might make you uncomfortable. There's a club called Casablanca in downtown Mombasa that has a lot of prostitutes that work in there.
It was fun though.
It was fun, but I was at the bar about to get a drink, and this girl came up to me and said, "Hey," and I was like, "Bitch, can't you see I am a married man?" No. So, but yeah, there's a lot of, if you're a passport bro, if you are a passport bro and you're out there looking for that, you know, go to Club Casablanca in Mombasa, and you can get some fat Nyashi tail, right? That could be your thing if you're into that. Wow. But you know, wherever there's prostitutes, there's also a high chance of criminality too. Just keeping it real. Like if you're from the streets, you know this, you know. So I'm just letting you know about that.
Yeah.
And is there anything else? Can I give one more?
Yeah.
Diani, maybe. Here's one thing I'm gonna say about Diani, right? Diani might only have the beach, and if you're just looking for that trip where you're just relaxing on the beach and chilling, minding your own business, swatting away like a few musty Masai every now and then, you'll enjoy that. But it's very quiet, it's very boring, and there's really nothing else to do in Diani besides the beach, if that makes sense.
Like there are 3 sides of like Mombasa we saw, like the, you know, Mombasa city center, which is like historical and a bit like crowded and you can find everything.
And conservative.
And conservative, but the beach is not like that good.
Mhm.
And then Bamburi is like the place you go for partying and plus the beach. And then if you go to Diani, it's more like a retired people place. You know, there are a lot of like older white people there who stay in the resorts. And if you remember, we went into one of the resorts in Diani, and it was like everything was inside. So it's like they didn't really need to go outside. So yeah, like Diani, not a lot of partying going on there or other stuff, but yeah, you just have a really good beach there.
Yeah, definitely. But let's jump into the comments. Avery Adams says, "Working girls be the boldest." Shaking my head. The dollar make anything shake, I guess. It's like that, man, and it's crazy because that's everywhere in the world. Everywhere in the world you'll go, you'll find, unfortunately, working girls. They're out there.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun. It was a bit cringe because there were like also Indian uncles there trying to dance with the prostitutes. So it was just fun for me. I was just like watching everything that was going on.
Yeah. One more thing I have to say though about being in Africa in general, like it feels so freeing, right? Like you didn't feel like there was like police everywhere. You didn't feel like, number one, did you feel safe in Mombasa?
Yeah, definitely. And I felt like so free, like you said, like I was wearing whatever I wanted because like, for example, in Turkey and even here in Budapest, like sometimes I wear something and I take it off because I feel like I'm too revealing or something like that. But I didn't feel like that in Africa. I don't know if because I was like so far away from where I used to be and I was just like, F it. But I don't know. It was just like I didn't feel like anyone was judging me or I didn't feel unsafe ever.
Right.
Really.
Well, there is an episode where you do put on like what can I say? Like a
headscarf.
Like a headscarf.
But I was trying to be like a little like, fashion trial. Like it wasn't because I was trying to cover up. I just wanted to have a little bit of like the Arabic vibe.
I'm gonna say this though. I feel like if you are a girl who goes to Mombasa though, and you do dress up more conservative, people will maybe respect you more and maybe not. Because I feel like they didn't shout Mzungu at you and stuff like that, or guys didn't try to holler at you because they saw you with the hijab and stuff like that.
Oh, they did, but not with that dress.
Not with that. Even when you wore hijab?
I mean, I don't remember like that day specifically, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go to Aaron Ekadem. He says, "Can you compare Mombasa City to Dar es Salaam, or is there any comparison?" I think he says, "I love East Africa." Okay. So yeah, I love East Africa too for certain things, but other things are just very annoying. And I'll just say, I feel like Mombasa is a much better city than Dar es Salaam. In Dar es Salaam, we stayed in the city center, and they have like this fish market that sends this horrible smell like all through downtown. I hate that. One of the biggest culture shocks for me being in Africa, and I'm just being honest. And Aaron, I hope I don't offend you, but in East Africa, man, I couldn't deal with some of the mustiness. I can't deal with that. I'm sorry, man. Like
I mean,
we
get it. Like it's really hot.
It's really hot, but put on the deodorant, put on the stick, man. But it's okay. That's one thing. But I feel like the beaches in Mombasa were much better. Like we went to a beach in Dar es Salaam the first day, and I think it was Cocoa Beach, and it was like full of seaweeds and a bit, dirty. I enjoyed it. Like I got used to it very quickly. All right, but it is something that it's not like crystal blue waters and like drone shot footage like you imagine. Like when you're in that water, it's something else. But Tanzania is special because it's like so hood, so real, so raw. Like Tanzania is raw as fuck. Like Tanzania is the most ghetto country in a good way. Like it's ghetto in that good way. Like home cooked meal ghetto. Like grandma hug ghetto. Like Tanzania is like barbershop ghetto. You get what I'm saying? Tanzania is like playing Uno with your cousins ghetto. Like that's the type of ghetto it is. Like it's that home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know. Like. Mombasa city center had a bit like of that Moroccan vibes as well, like with the buildings and the feeling. It was like I don't know, and the buildings are like less taller, where Dar es Salaam has like skyscrapers and things like that. So that also makes it feel like a bit more cozy in Mombasa rather than like Dar. But yeah, I don't know. Like I like Mombasa city center more as well.
Yeah, yeah. Dar is a much bigger city. Skyscrapers, like you said, a bit more diverse. Like you will see like different people there and stuff like that. And Mombasa is a smaller city. It feels like everybody knows each other there a little bit. Like like everybody knows who everybody is.
Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah, like Mombasa has a bit more like historical vibes as well rather than Dar. Yeah. But Dar was also like really cool too. We had really good street food in Dar as well. Like if you remember that restaurant that we went to like 5 times or something.
There's a lot of good street food in East Africa, but also in general great restaurants. A lot of good just Indian curries and biryani chicken and stuff like that. Like the thing about East Africa is like they have great food, but the great food is, you know, Indian influence. Like, but it's hella good.
Yeah, it is. It's hella good. I think I would think that they do have a little twist to it, like a little Swahili twist.
Yeah, maybe. Shall we cover the next topic?
Yeah. I mean, for my places to avoid, it's not really avoid, but remember that beach we went to in Copacabana? Mm-hmm. Like, it's a good beach, but it's nothing that special. Like, the water is a bit low, if you remember. And there is a very nice cafe there. But, yeah, overall, like, I would rather go to Shenzo or Diani than Copacabana because it's also a bit far away. It's in, like, Kigali or something.
No, it's in Kigali's another city. That's the capital of Rwanda. Kilifi County.
Yeah, Kilifi, not Kigali.
No, there's another place called Heaven's Paradise Beach or something like that.
That was worse.
Yeah, don't go there. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. If you are in Mombasa, do not think to go to Heaven's Paradise Beach. There's nothing there. Literally nothing there.
You don't need to cross over to Kilifi.
Yeah.
In general as well.
Yeah. All right. Oh, and by the way, if you go to Mombasa or Banbury, do not eat the black sausage. They sell black sausage on the side of the road. Pause. No diddy. Pause, but do not eat the black sausage. It sell like this. I think it's blood sausage. It's either blood sausage or it's semi-expired meat that they grind into a sausage and sell into the streets for the working class people. It's one of the worst things I've ever eaten. You can see it in the videos. It's not a place to avoid. It's a thing to avoid. God, is one of the worst things I ever tasted. No offense. No offense, Kenyans. No offense, East Africans. I don't know what that blood sausage is, but
yeah, now I'm thinking maybe it wasn't like meat. Maybe it was meat, but it's like an animal that we didn't eat before or something. I don't know if it was like cow or goat or anything like that. Maybe it was something different.
If you kill an animal and it's got black meat inside of it, that's not an animal you should eat.
I don't know, but it was definitely like it smelled expired. It was really bad.
Yeah,
but
that's wild.
Other street food, like some places really do have like good grilled chicken. Like they would grill a whole chicken and divide it into parts. Those were really good. What else did I write? Like fish is definitely really good most of the time. I ate like fish like twice. One was at the beach in Diani, and the other one was like in a mall, but that was still really good. Samosas are like everyday favorites. Coconuts and mangoes, everyday favorites. Like you can get them at like for coconuts is like, I don't know, 50 cents, $1 or something like that. And then like mangoes are everywhere and they're so delicious. Like I remember in Diani, that's literally what we ate. I feel like mangoes every day.
Yeah, definitely.
And like overall chicken dishes are good, I would say. Yeah. Some of them like Indian inspired sauces, but some of them are just like grilled stuff.
Teddy Dunde said the sausage is called umtura. Interesting. Okay. Kenyan sausage. Some people know how to make it. If I think the guys on the street know how to make it, and if that was the best, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you know what I did like? One of my favorite things, I really like Kenyan snacks. Chevda, all the chips that they have, because they sell like extra spicy chips as well. There's just specifically Chevda and like the coconut chips too and stuff like that.
What was that thing? I think that's goji berries or something.
Yeah.
Like the pink thing that you eat and then like you basically suck on it and there's like a big seed, but it's really like kind of soury sweet. It's really good and it makes all of your mouth like pink.
Yeah.
I was addicted to those ones.
Yeah.
Definitely. I ate like a whole bag.
Also, East African tea is the best. Like the best tea, green tea, by the way, I've ever had was in Tanzania and also in Kenya as well. You can find it. So mabuyu, Mabuya. I don't know exactly what that is.
Okay, I think that's the little red one.
Okay, that's the red one.
Baobab seed.
A baobab seed. Okay, all right. But yeah, there was just so many good snacks. But like you said, the chicken everywhere on the side of the street, the grilled chicken, that's always a good like comfort food and easy to pick up, and it's always going to be good generally.
We somewhat avoided like meat in general, like
no, just beef.
Beef, yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, meat, like red meats in general. Though you did eat like a burger or something.
You know what? I'm gonna say this: like Africa had better meat dishes than actually Hungary right now. I'm gonna keep it real, because like in Hungary, all they eat is a lot of pork and maybe a little bit of chicken, right? But they don't eat beef either here in Hungary. But I feel like, well, number one, every time we had a pizza in East Africa, that shit was hitting. I don't know why, because in East Africa, their pastries are trash. Like you cannot go to a bakery and get like a piece of cake and expect it. No,
trash.
Their cupcakes are bad. They
don't eat a lot of cheese.
Yeah, they don't eat a lot of cheese. But for some reason, in East Africa, every pizza restaurant you go to, that shit gonna be fire. I don't know why. I don't know why.
That is so weird.
Because the bread usually ain't good, and the meat usually ain't good. But why do pizza always hit? I don't know.
And like people don't eat cheese.
And they don't eat cheese.
Like cheese is like expensive. I feel like, and there isn't a lot of options there because usually just people don't eat cheese that much.
Yeah. But definitely, I wish I had chevda all the time. Like chevda is like the perfect like snack. Like
with
it's
beer.
Chevda and beer is like chevda with some Tusker cider.
Ooh.
Chevda with some Tusker cider is how I want to spend every Saturday afternoon for the rest of my life.
Time to plug Tusker cider again.
Oh God,
it's the best cider and beer in the world.
It's so sweet. It gets you off your ass. Boy.
Yeah, you get so drunk so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really good. And especially because the weather was always scorching hot, like that cold cider, like apple beer that you're having. It's so good.
It's so goddamn refreshing. God damn it. I want it. Hey, one more thing though. I forgot to mention this. A place you should go to if you are in Bamburi. Go to some of those clubs late night because they have live bands that play there. And then you have all the old Kenyan uncles come out with like their beer bellies and their funny hats. And they're singing their old like traditional songs with the live band and music. Them boys be jamming for real. And I've seen good musicians because her country, Turkey's got some fire ass musicians. And I'm from Louisiana, where if you go to New Orleans, all you'll hear is fire musicians. But them boys be playing for real in Kenya. They know how to pluck them strings, smash them drums, play the bass, keys, everything, sing for real.
Yeah,
it's dope. It's dope.
And like we said this before in many of our videos, but definitely like every club or place you would go to, you would hear good music.
The best music. Fuck that.
Like you would be jamming to the music whenever, wherever, because like, you know how, I don't know, like in Serbia,
it's trash.
Like, it's trash because it's like a Russian techno or something like that. But they don't have that. They have like Afro beats, like cool, dancey songs. And it's just like, even if you're not like a going out bar person, I suggest like you go at least one time, and I know that you would want to go again.
No, hands down, and trust me, like as a Black American, like I'm very protective of our music, and I will defend our music to the end. But there is no comparison to going out to a club in Africa to anywhere else in the world, because the music is fire. Even like she said, if you don't even like that shit, I don't listen to fucking Burna Boy on the weekend. I don't listen to. Who else? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know none of them niggas with the
DJ Platinum.
I don't
Diamond Platinum.
I don't listen to Diamond Platinums, none of them. But if you go out to a club in Africa, you will have a good ass time because that shit be jamming for real.
Yeah.
And then when you got Niash all around you, just too much Niash. If you know what Niash is, you know. You will have a good ass time in an African club. I'm sorry.
Chill with the Niash.
I just had to hype it up. I had to keep it real.
But it was definitely good. And like you said, like if it's like a crowded place and stuff like that, just like it's so good. Like the vibes are so there because people are just like dancing, they jamming, they're drinking. Like nobody's uptight. Like you're not gonna see like those people like how you would go to the bars and like even in Istanbul and stuff like that, like those rich people who just stand there with hoes. Like you're not gonna see those things. Like everyone is vibing. Everyone is like twerking and dancing and it's just fire. It's fire. Okay, moving on to money. I guess we talked about a little bit, but only thing I'll add is like maybe let's talk about transportation.
Let's talk about money because if you travel and you're coming from a foreign country and your money's in a bank, and a foreign bank, of course, you're going to have to pay some really big fees to take out your money from your bank. And I forgot the name of the bank. Ooh, I forgot the exact name, but
There was one with like KHM.
okay. I feel like in East Africa, from my recollection, it's better to take out large sums of money rather than little bits that you'll need.
And APSA.
Okay. But, and also, by the way, maybe you could also help yourself by traveling to East Africa and learning M-Pesa as well. So let me just start with the money part. If you have a foreign bank, go into the ATM, they're going to charge you a flat fee every time you take it out something. So if you take out $20, that's $7 you have to pay in fees. If you take out $100, you have to pay $7 in fees. And also some ATMs and some banks will have a markup. Better just to take out the $100 than the 20, right? To save yourself, right? And another thing, a lot of the times in East Africa, they don't take card places, but they'll take M-Pesa, which is basically a transfer from, a phone number, right? You'll transfer money that way. And you can pay for damn near everything in East Africa or Africa in general with M-Pesa. So if you learn that system, which is not that hard, I didn't learn it. We didn't bother to learn it, but it might have helped us if we had done it. So that's what I have to say about money. But other than that, booking your hotels and Airbnbs and VRBOs or whatever online, you can use your card and everything will be fine. Some places they'll ask for that in cash when you show up, but other times it should be okay. You can also pay online, right?
Yeah, just in general, know that most places, like I would say 90% of the places only accept like cash, especially with food and street food and all of those things. And maybe unless like you go to a hotel restaurant or like a bit of a fancier restaurant or you're at the mall, they would accept credit card. So yeah, we had to like take out cash constantly and we paid that fee like constantly, which was something also was like, hard as budget travelers because it added up to that cost.
Definitely.
But yeah, overall, I would say most things are like cheap. Like rides, I wrote down, I think they were like the motorbike rides and tuk-tuk rides, they were around like $5-6 or something like that for a ride. Maybe like a 10-minute ride or something. And yeah, what else? Accommodations, we generally pay like around $25 to $30 a night. Like we said, groceries, of course, it depends on what you buy, but it could range between like $5 to $20. Also depending on like which store you're going, because they do have like Carrefour and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely much cheaper, like for example in Budapest.
By the way, I'm sorry, you can usually pay for things in card with card at only big grocery store chains.
Yeah,
that's it.
That as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't think of anything else related to money.
Just bring money, because Africa is not cheap. It might look cheap, but it's can be expensive, right? And there's the crazy thing about Africa, there's a lot of luxurious places you can go to too. And you could actually have a very beautiful time. Some of the most beautiful places and luxurious places are in Africa, right? And it might even look better than being in certain parts of Europe or North America. You know what I mean? But it will cost. It will cost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but at the same time, you're not losing that much if you're not like rich and going to Africa, I would say, because you can still see those views and things like that. And like you can still drink a beer, but you're not going to have a full course like meal, there in that restaurant that is like a bit fancy and stuff like that. But I would say generally like it is affordable.
But what's ironic,
budget travelers.
But what's ironic, you can have a full course meal on the beach like we did in Diani. So there's one of the second to last videos we released of us being in Diani. We were at this little shack on the beach. I forgot the name, but we ordered some fish, both her and I.
It's called Copacabana also.
All right, Copacabana, like shack, whatever.
Restaurant,
yeah, Copacabana shack. Boy, they gave us the biggest fish. Fish was this big. Fish was this big with fries too, and I think also salad on the side. Fire. And I'm pretty sure we only paid like $15 for both of us.
And the lady there was also so nice because they accepted cash only. We didn't have cash, and she said like, okay, you can pay the next day. And she just didn't charge us, and we came and paid the next day. So it was like so dope, you know, all of that like happening. And it was like only us in that little shack thingy. It was like a private like restaurant, like we closed it or something.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
My nigga. She was the truth.
She was really dope. Yeah.
She was the truth.
Okay. More about transportation, like how we got around and things like that. I don't think like we used buses to get around like between different parts of the city. We did hire like InDrive or Uber.
We did one time take so they have buses that run to different parts of the city. Like if you're in Mombasa Center, they have these colorful African buses with like Akon painted on one side and then like Jesus Christ on the front hood, right? For some reason. And they go to different spots. And, you know, it's, I think, only like 1 shilling or something like that to go to different parts of the city. And there was one that ran to the beach to where we were staying in Banbury. And I believe we took it one time. I think so.
Okay, in Banbury we took it.
I think so, if I remember.
I don't
right.
remember it.
You don't remember that?
No.
Okay.
And we don't have it in the video, but
okay.
In general, like InDrive is affordable, so that's what we use. And also like I don't know. For some reason I couldn't figure out like the bus situation in Kenya because it was just a bit too hectic. And yeah, we just like sort of took the easy way out, and it's not that expensive.
Right.
And yeah, like most of the places are close by. Like the furthest we went to was Diani, which is about like 30 minutes with the car, I guess. And you do have to take the ferry, but ferry is cheap. It's like $1 or something.
Yeah. Tuk-tuks everywhere.
Yeah, tuk-tuks and bikes everywhere, so just use that.
Yeah, bikes are the best.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, accommodations, more. So what I wrote down here is that usually Wi-Fi and electricity is good. Like Wi-Fi was, I feel like, good in every places, but we did have some electricity outages in Banbury, right? Couple of times, but it wasn't like as bad as Arusha.
Sorry,
Tanzania.
I farted, by the way.
You didn't have to say that, but it's okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, stop.
You didn't smell that, did you?
Not yet.
Okay, good. All right, sorry. Then I didn't have to say that.
And the things I wrote down for like sort of problematic things in the apartments that we stay was first AC. We only had two places that had AC. One was in Shanzu, I think, and the other one was in the city center. The other places only had fans. Like some of them had the ceiling fans, which didn't do anything because it was so hot, and some of them had like the normal standing fans. And yeah, that was like definitely gave us some hard times at night, like when we were trying to sleep and we would be like, don't touch me. Like it's so hot, like you're just sweating even though you're like naked and not doing anything. And I guess showers I put down here because sometimes the shower thingy, like the shower head isn't that like good, and there's like one small like part squirting out to your face.
Sometimes you can't guarantee hot water.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't really need hot water if you're there during the summertime because it's already really hot and you just take cold showers. And also, I don't know if you noticed this, but the water in Mombasa City was a bit bad for me, at least like for my skin and for my hair. It was like salty, like it was from the sea or something, but the other places were okay. Yeah. And none of the houses that we stayed in had washing machines, so we sort of like washed everything by hand every day. Yeah.
If you're budget traveling and you stay in one of these accommodations that is on the cheaper end, you will not see big roaches, but you will see tiny roaches. And when we stayed in one place in Banbury, the roaches were only this big. I'm from Louisiana, where them roaches like this. Roaches come up and walk to you and say, "What you doing?" Roach smoke a cigarette with you. But yeah, I didn't see big roaches, but I'm pretty sure because Roachicus africanus is a genus, and I think that is the large roach we have in Louisiana. But wow. I'm just giving y'all the real. I didn't see that many roaches though. Many of the places we stayed were clean, but I'm pretty sure they're out there.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the places we stayed in were like mostly spacious, like one bedroom and one like living room situation with a small like American style kitchen.
Yeah.
And yeah, most of them come with like all the pots and stuff that you need. So I would say most of the places we stayed were actually like pretty okay,
Yeah.
pretty good. Like nothing luxurious, but enough.
Cool. All right. Well,
I don't know.
anything else?
I don't know.
Did we
Yeah.
cover everything?
Yeah. Any tips and tricks that you want to add on, or anything that you want to add?
Maybe it was ABSA is the bank I was talking
It's
about.
the red one.
Yeah, ABSA is the name of the bank. You know, if you go to ABSA, just take out those large sums if you need to. You know, don't walk around with too much cash on you, but keep cash on you because that's the best way to pay for things. If you go to places like Fort Jesus or Holler Park or something, you don't really need a guide because it's sort of self-explanatory. Though maybe a guide might explain more things. Because one thing I didn't like about Fort Jesus is that there wasn't anything written about the slave trade that was there, but maybe the guides would have explained that. You know, if you're Muslim and you go to Mombasa, really soak in the Islamic atmosphere there because it is very deep and it's very, very real. And yeah, the donor in downtown Mombasa is a must-have, as well as the Zanzibar pizza, the coconuts, the mangoes, the fresh fruits and vegetables.
Take a trip down like that food market, and it's really good.
Get those plantain chips as well, the salty kind. You get me? Don't drink the water from the tap. You are not stupid. Don't do that. One thing that I wish we did, we should talk about what we wish we did. So we left Mombasa and because I didn't have my debit cards anymore and I lost my cell phone and I needed to go back to Turkey to like recuperate and stuff like that. So yeah, I wish we traveled to Nairobi. We were this close to traveling to Nairobi, but situations changed and I had to cancel our reservation for at a very nice place in Nairobi. And I was looking forward to going to Nairobi to, you know, go to the national park and do the cheap safari that's right there. They have like lions, zebras, and, you know, elephants right outside Nairobi, right? And I was looking forward to seeing that mega city. I was also looking forward to going. I wanted to go back to Kenya so I can climb Mount Kenya because it's much cheaper than Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
So those are things I wish I did in Kenya.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, those are also the things I wanted to do. I really wanted to also see Nairobi because everyone was like, sort of like, I don't know, a couple of times when we met like people who went there or people from Kenya, they said to us like, yeah, it's like a young city, you know, it's a business hub and all of those things. It's that like crazy, you know, city life, which I like. So I definitely wanted to see Nairobi as well. But yeah. I don't know, for another time, I guess.
For another time.
Yeah.
For another time. So, is that it?
I guess so.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to our first live stream together for Backpack Bandits. We did it. New videos coming soon. We're traveling to different places in Turkey, Antalya. And then after that, I think we have Serbia coming up next.
Yeah.
Then Kosovo, then Albania. And then when we get back to Hungary, we might actually start shooting some new content. But, you know, let's see how it goes. Y'all continue to support our channel. Leave comments, likes, questions, shares, all that sort of stuff. You know, this channel, like we said, is not meant to be for everybody, but it is meant to be intimate. And you can directly talk to us. We're not hard to find. We're easy to reach. We're normal people just like you. And yeah, we want to send shout outs to everybody who watched. Shout out to Teddy Dunde, Aaron Ekadem, Avery Adams. And I also got to shout out the person who sent me a super chat, Roseanne. Roseanne, whoever you are, thank you for the super chat on my channel. Shout out to T-Vog Film Telia. Shout out to Abhe Basi. And that's it, I think.
Yeah, and Avery Adams, of course.
Of course.
Always there for us.
Always, always. Well, thank you for watching Backpack Bandits, and peace.